We live in a society where it's so easy to get caught up in so many different things, to have your mind focus on like a million different things at once, to worry about a million different things at once, to just always be so preoccupied in your head, always be in your head, basically, always be overthinking everything, making more problems than you really should have. And it seems a little too normal where it becomes almost like a joke where I'm so stressed, or oh bro, like I'm going through so much, but and when I say a joke, I don't mean like people take it as a joke, but I mean it almost feels like a competition. People are trying to flex how bad things are going. Like people are trying to flex how much they have in their hands. People are trying to stress how much stress they have and whatnot. And why? It's just weird. One thing I can confidently say is that as a Christian, stress is inevitable. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you never be stressed. No, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. But don't linger on it. It's not something you should always preoccupy on. It's not something you should be literally losing sleep over. And I also want to address some little specific problems that you may have, or something that may not have gone the way you wanted it to go. These are things that cause us to stress. Having one thing happening the way you don't want it to go. Losing something, missing out on an opportunity, losing this, losing that. This is a big reason why people get stressed, a big reason why people get upset, a lot of big reason people say their life is down the drain and whatnot. And a specific story that I want to bring up too is one in Exodus, and it's not the splitting of the Red Sea. It's not going to be when God opened the sea for Moses. No, it's actually going to be right before that, which I've never, ever heard of in my life. And it's not even like a story. It's just like a little verse, just one verse. So it's two verses that I want to mainly focus on. The first one is Exodus 13, verse 17. When Pharaoh finally let the people go, God did not lead them along the main road that runs through Philistine territory, even though that was the shortest route to the promised land. God said if the people are faced with a battle, they might change their mind and return to Egypt. So God led them in a roundabout way through the wilderness toward the Red Sea. Thus the Israelites left Egypt like an army ready for battle. So the Israelites have been allowed by Pharaoh to leave, so they're leaving. And I guarantee you, if you pulled out, let's say just one of the Israelites, and you showed them what God saw, you showed them the shorter route, and you showed them the route that they went through, they would 100% pick the shorter route, right? It looks easier, it looks way better. But there was a battle. They would have faced a battle if they went there, right? So they ended up going to the Red Sea. But was the Red Sea hard? Yes. It wasn't easy either. The Red Sea was also difficult. There was literally a freaking sea. And the Egyptians literally chased them right after too. But through a human standpoint, through a human point of view, going the shorter route looked way better. It's shorter. Of course, it's shorter. It's faster. You're going to get there a lot quicker. You're going to get there a lot easier. But guess what? They would have had to freaking fight. They would have had a battle. They would have had a war. Who knows? Probably they would have ended the Israelites right there. Boom, game over. So God took them in the way to them that looks harder. To a human standpoint, through the sea looks way harder. Because one, it's probably long. It is longer. It is way longer. And it was just probably harder. It was literally across the freaking sea. But God took them through the harder way, not through the easy way, because he knew best. You understand what I'm trying to say? What probably makes zero sense to you right now, what probably makes zero sense to your friend, to your family, to your household, you don't get it. You don't like it. You're like, what the hell is happening? This is, I don't get it. You don't see what God sees. You don't know that if you get that opportunity, if you get that job, you're going to go down the wrong path. You don't know that. He knows that. Anybody in that camp would have gone through the shorter route. But guess what? It probably would have been harder. They would have died. Things would have gone a lot worse. It's so easy to complain to God why things don't go your way when you don't know what could have happened if it did. You probably would be a whole different person. You'd probably be a horrible person. You'd probably be dead. You don't know where you could end up. But God knows that. So stop complaining how he does things. In Ecclesiastes, it literally says, who can straighten what the Lord has made crooked? So why are you over here complaining about not getting this, about getting this, about X, Y, and Z? God sees things that you don't see. So stop trying to act like you see everything, because you don't see anything compared to him. And do you really think he'll send you down somewhere that you know you can't? Do you really think he'll send you down somewhere worse? Jeremiah 20:11, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper and to give you a future, not plans to destroy you. Why would he send his own child down something they know wouldn't help them? And then still in Exodus 13, verse 21 and 22, the Lord went ahead of them. He guided them during the day with a pillar of cloud and provided light at night with a pillar of fire. This allowed them to go travel by day or by night. And the Lord did not remove the pillar of cloud or pillar of fire from its place in front of the people. God did not remove himself from them. When things looked weird, when things made no sense, when they didn't like it, when they were uncomfortable, when they were scared, when they were anxious, God did not remove himself. And that's one thing that I really, really love about God's character. You don't read once in the Bible, you're not going to have any problems. You're not going to read that your life is going to be perfect. And that's actually one thing that I freaking love, because imagine a life with no problems. Imagine a life with no difficult circumstances. How would you ever improve? How would you ever appreciate the good things? How would you ever look towards God? But what the Bible does tell us, what God promises us, is that he will be with us. He never said you're not going to have problems. He said he will be with you during them. Jesus said, do not be afraid. I am here, when his disciples were freaking out about the storm. So it's not like you're not going to have any problems and your life is going to be all diddly-daddly all the time. You're told that God is with you. You're not told that life is easy now. If anything, your life probably gets harder. And what's really funny is that in chapter 14, when the Egyptians are now charging at the Israelites and they're stuck behind the sea, the people of Israel are crashing out on Moses. They're all freaking like complaining to him. They're all telling him like, yo, bro, why'd you bring us here? We're all going to die. It would have been better if we stayed in Egypt and left as slaves. And Moses' response is perfect. Look at what Moses says. 14:13. But Moses told the people, don't be afraid. Ready? Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. Moses had that faith that even when it made no sense, when people were looking at him like he's stupid, when people were calling his God a lie, a fake, a false, whatever, he knew that God was going to rescue him. And guess what? God did exactly that right after he split the sea. Boom, they're free, they're good. Because of Moses' faith. It's that same faith that you gotta have in these scenarios that make no sense. When people call you stupid, when people call you weird, when people say that your God is a lie, it is in those same scenarios that you need to be still and watch the Lord rescue you. And I think the fact that God promises to never leave us in situations is so beautiful. And I would rather that than just being told you won't have any problems at all. Because how would you ever grow? How would you ever learn? How would you ever be able to teach someone else if you don't experience anything for yourself? So being told that he's with us is way better. Yeah, I read this like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and God put it in my heart since I read it, literally, it's been in my head. And now I'm talking about it. So thank God, I praise God for that. But yeah, guys, if you like this video, I have way more like this, go check them out. I appreciate you for watching. Take care and God bless.